Hello there gorgeous gamers, and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we're revving our engines and pulling some inappropriate wheelies in our latest review, which is for MotoGP 21. We've played the last gen and the current gen edition, but the main focus of this video is for the next gen version, and we're showing PS5 footage. Let's get on with it. If you've read or watched any of my previous racing game reviews, then you'll know that I'm not really the biggest bike fan out there, unless we're talking about your mum. With that in mind, don't expect me to be using the correct terminology, and don't be offended if I'm simply not very good at the game, as you will see in the video. And to be clear, I am not very good at MotoGP 21, at all. I've been playing for a week, and I'm still happy to chase last place, but I'm getting there, slowly but surely. But not really surely, and very slowly. For newcomers, MotoGP 21 isn't an easy game to pick up and play. It's not a casual game like Forza Horizon or The Crew 2, it's much more on the simulation side, which means you need to take it seriously and, if you're as pathetic as I am, crank the difficulty down to the lowest setting and enable every single driving aid and set them to maximum. This is not a bad thing, mind you, as the game doesn't wrestle or control away from you if you're a newbie. Instead, the system intervenes to keep the gameplay as smooth as possible, which means keeping you on the track and not flying arse following head over the handlebars. If you're familiar with the MotoGP series, you'll already know what to be on the lookout for. You'll know that the physics are heavy, supposedly even more realistic in this year's edition, and that progress is a slow road. And a slow road it definitely is, at least for me, but it could have been slower. The game comes packed with a few different game modes, but the meat of the meal is in the career mode, where you can either start your own team or join an established outfit as a team rider, or you can start from the very bottom of the ladder and make your way up to the top. I chose to join an established team because I've no idea what goes into making a good bike racing team. 2 wheels and a helmet would be my guess, but there's obviously much more. You don't get to completely shy away from the management side by signing with the manufacturer's team either. You'll still have some sway over the team via your entourage, including your manager, engineer, and so on. You can hire and fire as you please, but you can also be fired if you're riding for a team. Every team has their goals and expectations. Each race will have a clear set of instructions for you, such as finish 15th or 10th or whatever. Failing to do this will cost you some of the career points you have, and this affects your job security. Fail to bring home the bacon too many times and you'll be kicked to the curb. The career mode has enough going on that hardcore fans will be more than happy to sit through an entire weekend race event, and then get into the nitty gritty of upgrading your machine and tapping up new talent for the team should you venture out and start your own racing empire. For me though, the racing was just about enough. If I was a bigger fan of motorbike racing, I'm sure I'd get some kicks out of the management side, but I didn't. What I did like was the gameplay. I'm used to throwing 4-wheeled machines around corners and through fields, sometimes through police blockades, so going back to a motorbike game was always going to be a bit difficult. And it really was, but I still appreciated the challenge and the accomplishment that came with finally finishing a race mid-table. The trick is to follow the other riders and try to weave yourself into their pattern. Timing is crucial in MotoGP. Anticipation is half the game. You need to be constantly thinking about the next 3 turns you're going to pull off. Memorising 2 of the turns is not enough, because you'll need to make sure that coming out of turn 2, you're already positioned for turn 3, whether that's maintaining a knee to the ground or pulling your motor up straight and pushing forward for maximum effort. I liked this, and it gamified the simulation a little bit, because all I had to do then was observe the patterns, learn the patterns, and repeat the patterns, with the latter bit being the hardest, obviously. So on next gen, how is it? Well, it's great, and it looks and runs fantastically at a solid 60 FPS. The adaptive triggers are used to good effect in providing some resistance when pulling the brakes or hitting the gas. Nothing special, mind you, and nothing that we haven't already seen in other PS5 racing games, but it's nice to see it there all the same. It's the little extra effort that goes a little way with PS5 players wanting the most out of their new gear. On PS4 the game is perfectly fine, albeit with a little bit of choppiness here and there with the game's frame rate, and the loading times are obviously a little longer than they are on PS5, but essentially you're getting the same MotoGP game. As a non-biker looking into the world of bike racing, as I tend to do a couple times a year as per my review duties, I enjoyed MotoGP 21. It won't be my go-to racer, but I'll definitely keep plugging away at it, at least until I need to make some room on my PS5, and then it fights the battle against the other review duty games to see which will die to make room for another review duty download. I swear, that is a game right there. Somebody make it and give me credit. Thank you. And that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, then go on down below and give us a like, a comment and subscribe for more stuff. Give the bell icon a click, a tap, or nudge it with your nose if you're watching this with one hand down your pants. It's okay, I know I've got a sexy voice. Once you've finished playing with yourself, go down below and you'll find our social media channels, website links, and our supporters page where you can support the team, if you can. I've been Chris. I wanted to do a little singing joke here with Queen's bicycle race song, but I'm scared of Brian May slapping me in the face with a copyright strike. And his penis. I can't take the copyright strike. Until next time, bye bye.